You indicated that there was a vendor there, equipment vendor named Mark.
Yes.
You discussed things with him.
Yes.
Can you give you any idea what kind of equipment it was, any name brand? Just
No, we didn't talk name brand.
No.
We talked, the amount of the equipment, and he had like a switcher that, kind of you could see the cameras and see the TVs and what it displayed, and a couple of cameras had like multiple views of tables on the television, and again, in my background from television, we talked about, just the coolness of these, technology of today, and, the years ago when I had done that kind of thing. Obviously, we didn't have those many cameras, the capability of them, and so we kind of just talked about that.
But nothing about value.
Nothing about value, no.
Yeah, you kind of indicated, and I intended went up on this. You said when you stopped talking with him, he wandered off to help the count. Could you clarify what you mean helping with the count? He was helping feed the DS200s?
No, sir. So on the process that they use is they scan the ballots when they're hand tabulating into a scanner, and then that, I believe, is like displayed or at least held in a hard drive of some kind. And so he sometimes would have to assist directing the poll workers into making sure that they were being scanned in correctly, that they were displaying correctly. Obviously, scanners had jammed. There were several scanners on tables. I don't know how many scanners there were, but there were multiple scanners. And so sometimes they would jam, and he would go and help them kind of make sure everything was lined up and stacked up, and to put into the tabulator or into the scanner.
So was he touching ballots?
At one point, there was, like I say, this was the stack of ballots. He kind of leaned over and put his hand on the ballot.
Touching ballots.
And so the monitor had noticed that, and she went to LC, the commissioner, and said, Mark was kind of leaning on these ballots, and he can't touch ballots. And so the LC has said, yeah, we told them that he's not supposed to be touching ballots, he's only supposed to be instructing. And so after that point, I didn't see him even touch or whatever, he just instructed.
I saw this visual thing that somebody that was not supposed to touch a ballot was touching ballots. Thank you, guys.
Any other commissioners?
Yes. If I understand correctly, in addition to the equipment, services were being offered and rendered throughout the course of the day as well. So in addition to equipment, labor was provided.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you kind of cut out there.
In addition to the equipment, was labor provided as well?
Yes, sir. There were members there, like I said, until 4 a.m. And actually, it was after 4 a.m. because then they had to tear down all the equipment and pull up all the boards and pack up all the televisions and all that. So I had actually left, and they were still members of AVI there tearing stuff down.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commission? Commissioner Clemmer, your question about touching the ballots, I just want to clarify for the board itself, that's not an allegation of fact contained in this order and notice of hearing. Another sort of ancillary matter, but it's not an allegation of fact. So, based on the line of questions from the commission, any follow-up from council? Mr. Cooper?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lancaster?
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Davidson, do you have any evidence that Mark was not a sworn and trained poll worker?
I do not.
If he was a sworn and trained poll worker, is there any prohibition about him touching a ballot in any form?
No.
All right, I know that's not in there, but,
Understood.
my clients also view this hearing as a chance to exonerate their names, and it's important to them.
All right. Commissioner?
The individual that you mentioned, you said that Mark's hand was touching the ballot. Who was that and what was their title?
His name is Mark.
No, the gentleman that you, LC or?
Oh, LC Ratchford, the commissioner.
And he agreed with you?
But actually, the monitor actually talked to him, but the information I got from the monitor was he said, yeah, he's not supposed to be touching ballots, and they went and talked to them, and yeah, he didn't act that back.
Based on that line of questions from the commission, any follow-up, Mr. Cooper?
None.
Mr. Lancaster?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Again, Commissioners, I'll just remind you, the touching or not touching of the ballots is not a allegation of fact, so when you do enter into deliberations, just please set that aside.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I was not addressing that. I was addressing that an election commissioner mentioned that he should not be touching the ballot. Which
Understood.
would indicate
Yep.
that he was not sworn in election official.
Understood, understood. And I'm not disputing the potential grave aspect of it, it's just not part of this particular hearing. Sir, thank you very much for your testimony.